Hello and welcome to Voices of Parenting podcast. I am so glad you're here. My name is Mussi Diskin. I am an advanced nurtured heart approach trainer. I am a parenting coach. I am also an inner wealth coach, which means that I help people rediscover and connect to the people that they truly were all along, but may have gotten forgotten along the way. So to find out more about me and what I offer, you can check out mussidiskin.com. I would love to connect and I would love to hear your feedback. Reach out to Energizing Hearts. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Okay, we are back again with Kate Coventry. Thank you for being willing to do a second episode with us. If you haven't heard her first episode, which really just highlights her story of coming into Nurtured Heart and the transformation that she watched happen with her family, go back and watch the first episode. And like I said last time, Kate is the voice on the audiobook for Nurtured Heart, Transforming the Intense Child Workbook, which is wild. I just found out at the end of last episode that you're actually a voice actor, which is like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. that just happened. Like, who could have planned that you would find Nurtured Heart and be willing to do the book? So fantastic. I think for this conversation, we're going to let it go wherever it wants, but our segue in, you mentioned in the last recording about how your sort of final or most recent epiphany around Nurtured Heart is how actually all of this applies to me, and how as a mom, we get to use the 3 stands and the reset and all the inner wealth building and everything to help ourselves too. And so I'd love to hear a little bit more about what that's looked like for you and what you've noticed happen for you in the process.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a journey. And you were talking about like my Spitfire daughter that I shared about and how I, have some of that same passion and so on. And I do, but for a long time, I kind of lost that because I was such a people pleaser. I was always trying to do the right thing. And I had been raised, with these high standards and not unconditional love, but this idea of like, this is the right way to be a person and this is not a right way to be a person. I came from a very conservative background, and it really, when I got married and had a family, I was like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to be like a homemaker, and I shouldn't do anything else before I like get that down and be a good wife and this and that. And I was a circular thing trying to fit myself into a square peg, but I did it. I was like, I'm going to do this or die trying, because this is the right thing and this is the right way to go. So as you can tell from all that, I just carried a lot of shame from my childhood and how I was raised and how I learned to think about myself. And at the CTI, I realized like, oh my gosh, I have built that relationship with me. I get my juiciest connection from even myself on negativity, like thinking about the things I do wrong and the ways I fail and how I can do better and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I became very small and sad and depressed. And it wasn't that I was still alive and happy and doing things too, but in this journey, it wasn't just Nurtured Heart, but it's really funny how it aligned with Nurtured Heart and learning to see myself differently and to see myself with that love and to be able to acknowledge the greatness that I had. I was trying so hard to be what this person wanted and what this person wanted, and I'm good at like being what people want. But in doing so, I really lost a lot of my own spark and who I am. So learning to love myself and give myself grace, and sort of what we were talking about last time, like it's okay to make mistakes. Like it's okay. You learn from them and you move on. You don't get stuck there. And that's one of the biggest things I want to change, and I have and want to continue doing, like changing that habit of getting stuck myself in the negatives with my kids, with a partner. So yeah, it's given me the freedom to and permission to lean into some of these aspects of greatness in myself that I kind of had buried because they didn't fit the mold. And there was a moment, it was a little bit of an epiphany in the CTI. I was sharing about how I reached out. I went on a limb. I reached out. I contacted Howard about this. audiobook and I was kind of nervous. I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. And it all worked out. And the AT, the advanced trainer I was in a small group with, she's like, oh, wow, that just shows your greatness. It shows how powerful you are. And the word powerful just hit me because for many years, this is getting personal, but I was in a relationship, I was in a marriage that actually recently ended. And throughout that time, the word that I identified with the most was pathetic. And it was just kind of all wrapped up in this season, in this relationship. And it took me a long time to realize that that wasn't who I was, and to hear someone call me powerful, which to me it just hit me as the opposite of pathetic, and to be like able to accept that and to believe like, no, wow, I am. And it's okay to be powerful, and it's okay to see that and accept that and live that out. Um,
Thank you for sharing that, Kate. And I relate to that experience of awakening to my own greatness. I guess let's just say it in nurtured heart words.
yeah.
And but it's so real that it's just like so shocking. Like, how did I not realize, or how did I not know this? And like, but when it's real, it's real. And I think that's what's so beautiful about nurtured heart. That can't be, it's not an approach that you can learn secondhand. It's an approach you have to feel and experience firsthand, which I think
Mm,
is a big reason why the CTI is so powerful, is because it's so experiential in those small groups when you're just doing
yeah.
it with each other. Once I got it, that like, whoa, like I actually am great. Like,
Mm,
and I so like I can feel the pathetic and the powerful, and like what a freedom and what a growth and what a light. Like it's just like, oh my gosh, like I'm a gift. I can be here
mm,
and I can fully show up. How is that manifested for you in like the different aspects of your life, your motherhood, your professional,
yeah.
your way of just operating?
Yeah. There's still a lot of internal resistance in me, honestly, which was why, when she said that word, there was this moment of like, whoa, can I accept that description? And I'll answer your question, but when you were talking, it just reminded me because, in the past, like I never would have said something like that. Like, oh, I am powerful. That would have felt like, really big headed and boastful. And what I love about the nurtured heart approach is it's like all grounded in truth. Because, like, even when we're sharing things with our kids, we're not just like throwing words around to make them feel good. Like, we're finding something specific and we're making a really big deal about it and bringing out these kind of like very colorful, positive words, but it's based on truth. So it lands. And that's what keeps it from being like just disgusting, like, wow, like, why are you saying all this stuff? And I think for us too, to be able to get to that point where we can look at ourselves truthfully without having to put ourselves down or this or that. And no, we're not gonna, it doesn't mean we're proud or we're gonna be like egotistical. It just, like you said, it's unlocking who we are, and it gives us power to then go and live life that's meaningful and impactful to other people. Because to answer your question now, how that kind of transformed me as a mom and in other roles, I wasn't living my full potential, as a mom or in any role really, because I just was in that habit of being so down on myself and seeing the mistakes and hearing the criticism and not knowing what to do with it other than to like beat myself up and keep trying harder, harder, harder in hopes that I would like change and be what whoever, wanted me to be. So yeah, the nurtured heart approach and just this mental shift of recognizing greatness in my kids and in myself, it just gives such a sense of expansiveness and groundedness. I haven't always been the most grounded person. Like, I'm very spontaneous and creative and always like searching for being grounded, but it's found in accepting who you are and accepting who others are and celebrating that and giving yourself permission to celebrate that, as a mom, making that shift from like, gosh, I've got to do something about this bad thing, to be like, gosh, I get to pour most of my energy. I get to love my kids really deeply. And I get to work really hard at noticing all the wonderful things they do and all the not wonderful things they're not doing and tell them. And just seeing, my daughter now, it's funny when she's traveling right now and we talk every day, and I'll just like notice something and I'll say like, wow, that really shows me, this and that. And she just has this really calm, like, thank you. Like, she just accepts it and it sinks in and it's not weird. It's not a big deal. And I just feel like it's so beautiful that she can hear those words and that she can accept them. Because I think I would have been like, oh, no, no, like, oh, whatever, well, you should see this, or like, not really. So, yeah, I love that the grounding in truth that allows us to be like, no, we can stand in this greatness and our kids can stand in this greatness. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I love everything you're saying. It's like, it's so beautiful. And I think that it's such a gift to humanity and the world because, like, that circle you were trying to stuff into a square,
Mhm.
whatever the expression is, there's like all of us are so unique and bring such different things to the world. And it's like such a beautiful picture if we're all present in it. And
Mhm.
when we're all trying to stuff ourselves into those squares, it becomes just a whole lot of squares. It's like so boring. And and we miss out on something that's meant to be here. I mean,
Yeah.
nurtured heart is not specific to a specific demographic or religion or anything. I personally am religious and do believe in divine design. And for me personally, I see each person as a on purpose put here being that is
Mm.
meant to,
Mhm.
meant to shine. And it's like we're there's like an idea of not to be wasteful and not to like throw out good food or whatever, and like to find some way to do something with it or whatever, just not to waste the world, not to waste things. And we're in the world too. Don't waste us. Don't
Yeah.
waste our talents. Don't waste our light. Don't waste our colors. Like, they're here for a reason. They have what to contribute. And when I have to be a certain way, um, that means that I can't be fully the way that I am, and I don't necessarily even know who I am fully because
Mm.
I'm so busy learning what I should be that I don't have the time to explore and learn who I really am. And that's what I hear in your story is this like blossoming of Kate. It's like, welcome
Mm.
Kate to the world. Like, aren't we happy you're here? And the fascinating piece of that is that the least thing I would expect is that this like passionate, spitfire, beautiful, big, powerful Kate growing into herself would use the word grounded. And yet I relate so much to that
Mm.
experience. Permission to be fully me
Mm.
without needing to resist or fight or stuff or minimize or like that constant like internal fight was
Yeah.
so intense that there wasn't this groundedness when I was that people pleaser, because I relate so much to what you're saying. A people
Yeah.
pleaser, that needing to fit into the square. And when I have permission to be the fullness of me, there actually is a calm that comes with that and a peace that comes with
Yeah.
that. And I see that in my daughter because I've got one daughter too who's my nurtured heart, teacher. She got me
Mhm.
here. She keeps me here. She's constantly making me like work harder, on all of this. And when I land, she is so intense and so big. When I land a recognition, like when I have that evidence,
Mm.
like you're saying, and it's based in truth and it's from my heart, and I'm really seeing her, she just like she's like 5,000 megawatts of energy. And then like all of a sudden, she just like melts into this like calm, grounded, like la 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 la. She's still creative. But it's like
Right.
it soothes her. It soothes us to be us. I
Yes.
think it's that integrate. It's like there's this internal fight to be integrated and to connect with ourselves.
Mm.
And then when we do it, it's like we're not fighting anymore. So we're like calm. I don't know. It's so visceral and real, and I
Yeah.
hope that it's coming across as
No, it's
something relatable. But it's definitely a huge gift that I relate to, and that I'm experiencing in your story as you're speaking to that. And I think that it also gives us the permission you're saying to like enjoy our kids and stuff.
Mhm.
I think like when I was so busy needing to fit into a certain box in order to be good, what is that box? Like, I needed to be super aware of what's in the box and what's not in the box, what's normal and what's weird, and what's normal and what's wrong, what's right and what's wrong, and what's how it should be and how it shouldn't be. And that invites so much judgment of others and
Yeah.
so much like better than thou and so much like you're higher than me, you're lower than me, like and like that family in that way is like wrong. And that means that there's so much pressure on me that my kids and my family should look like the box so that nobody's judging me, so that nobody thinks I'm the weird one or the off wrong or the shouldn't be. And then I
Mm.
can't really enjoy my kids because there's this constant judgment of whether or not they're okay enough, and like their quirks and our quirks and like the way our family actually is wrong somehow or scary, because what if somebody doesn't like it? And so there's so
Yeah.
much pressure on constantly fixing and managing, and the ability to love others and not judge others and actually see others' greatness and recognize that like we're all different and that's beautiful, and to see other families and the way they operate and find the greatness in the way they operate gives me permission.
Mm.
I don't know which brings to what. I think they
Yeah.
both bring
Yeah.
to each other. It's just a circle, yeah. But the ability to say, like, it doesn't matter what my family's like. My last name is Diskin. We're the Diskins. We're going to do Diskin version family, and that's going to be our life. And like, we get to, like, the word get, I love that. We get to, this is our
Yeah.
home. This is our family. These are our memories. This is our future. Who cares if it's
Mm.
not like any other family on the planet? It's us. And you don't have to like us, and you don't have to come visit us if you don't want to. We have a door in the front of our house. You can stay on the outside of it if you want. Like, that's fine. But like, so much permission to just like be the quirky, different, weird, like the things we like, laugh at the things we laugh at. Rules. Like, who said that there's right and wrong with rules of like the way families work? If you yourself, it's like to ask myself before I implement a rule based on like what my parents did or what I saw other people do
Mhm.
or what I think other people
Yeah.
judge. It's like, what if we're actually okay with that? I don't have like a good example, but I think one like good example is like there are some families who wear shoes in the house and some families that don't.
Mhm.
And like, what if like if you grew up feeling like it's people judged the families that make you take your shoes off, right? But then you really don't want the germs from outside in your home. Like, go for it, honey. Go for it. Like, it's your house. But then there's also
Mm.
like other ones, like eating, I don't know, eating popcorn on the couch when you're watching a movie together. When, like, I don't know, my mom was like food only by the counter. And I also like food only by the counter. But what if you don't care about that? Mealtime
Right.
needing to be together, mealtime not needing to be together, sleeping like this, sleeping like that. I don't know. Like, go for it. It's your house. Your hair needs to be
Mhm.
neat. What if we don't care if hair is neat? What if we don't want to go through that? Like, what if we're okay with our kids developing dreadlocks because they never brush their hair?
Yeah.
Yay. Like, what if that's okay for you? So go for it. Like, there's no need to be. And then we get to like enjoy and relax, and we're so
Right.
fun. There's a reason why we're family. We love each other because we are each other. We come from each other. They come from
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. You used the word waste earlier, and that came to mind when you were just talking about your family. Like, if we worried about this, we wouldn't be living and loving and doing all the things. And I was like, yeah, like what a waste. And then to your point of like when we're worrying about trying to fit in and follow everything, that's where your energy goes, and it gets sucked up because we're both moms. We know that there are so many voices and books and ideas on every topic. Talk about sleep, like you should sleep with your kid, you should not sleep with your kid, you should let them cry, you should not let them cry. And there will always be all of those voices. Um, and yeah, I think sort of what we were talking about earlier and we talked about in the CTI, like taking all of those feelings, if I'm starting to get flooded with shame and guilt and worry, which I still do, acknowledging it, breathing into it, and then really trying to hone into, but what do I want? What is right for me and my family? And then yeah, transforming that into the greatness or just the way that I and we want to be and live best in the world. It's like so simple, but it's so easy to miss that.
Yeah.
And yeah, to
There's
not.
so many voices in the world. There's so many shoulds and shouldn'ts,
Yep.
and it's just like, girl, do you. It's so freeing.
I know. I know. I still feel like I'm in that process, but I mean, I'll always be. But yeah, it's been good. It's
Yeah.
been good.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. Well, we are at our mark and my baby's waking up. So look at that. Perfect
Perfect
timing.
timing.
Kate, thank you so much. Again, I'm going to ask you if anybody wants, if you can, hopefully you can hear me. Let me introduce my baby. Okay, we're gonna we're gonna feed you. If anybody, I'm gonna mute myself so you can just tell everybody if anybody wants to reach out to you as another mom who's going through whatever, all the things we talked about, and they want to connect or reach out to you. How can they find you?
Yeah, you can email me directly at katecoventryvoice@gmail.com, or I'm Kate Coventry on Facebook and Kate Coventry Voice on Instagram. And I have a website, but that's more professional. But there is an email access there, so that's
If you need a voice actress,
yes. If you need any sort of voice acting,
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Kate. It was so wonderful to get to know you and hang out with you. This has been the most fun, and
it's been awesome.
we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mussi.
Hey, wait, don't go yet. Take a minute to find the beautiful quality that you have, that you appreciate about yourself.